Hey James, so we're reviewing the panel that you sent to us with the membrane switch on it, and yeah, we see the bubbles that I'm sure you guys are seeing. There's a bubble here, and I don't know if Vanessa's getting the right angle to see it. There's a bubble here, and there's a bubble here. Those are caused by the standoffs. So the bubble here, you can see there's a standoff directly, or not a standoff, because this is a standoff, this is a screw, directly underneath that bubble. The bubble here, there's a standoff directly under it. And then here I don't see a standoff, so I don't know if that's just air that got trapped in there. We want to talk a little bit about the panel that we received. I don't know if you can see these scuffs. We made those here, but they're just on the surface. You can't even feel it. That's not really critical. What is critical is there's a pit right here. And when I don't know if you can actually hear it with my fingernail. And then the standoffs and the screws, when I put a razor blade, this is not a razor blade, but just to show you what I'm talking about, though it does have a sharp edge. When I put a razor blade here, you can actually see the indentation. It's recessed, and that's creating an air pocket. And when you apply the overlay, that air pocket becomes a bubble. So there's a few things that are working against you, and this is something that you would need to discuss with your metal supplier. Somehow this surface needs to be straight. It needs to be where the head of the standoff and the screws are. It needs to not have an indentation, nor does it want to be raised. So I have not practiced what I'm gonna do. It's not like I have rehearsed, this is my first attempt. This is the membrane switch that you guys sent to us. And I don't know what you guys meant by air and pad. When I peel the release liner from the back side and I inspect what the back side looks like, it's normal to see air in these sections because of the stainless steel dome and how it bridges from one dome to the next. But it wouldn't be normal to see air pockets out here, and there aren't any based on what I can tell. So now that we have this in front of us, and when I put this together, expect that there's going to be what seems like an air pocket here and in a few of these places where the standoffs are located. So what we did is we just drilled, we took a piece of lumber and we drilled these 4 holes, which is going to be what the standoffs fall into, like so. And what I'm gonna do is, with double-sided tape, I'm gonna stick this onto the table so that it doesn't move. The video that we saw that somebody did at your place, this thing was moving everywhere. You guys had not affixed it to anything, and that just makes it a little more difficult, a little more challenging to work with. So I'm just using this double-sided tape and exposing that. And now you can see that this thing is not, okay, there. It's not going anywhere. So I'll drop that in. Okay. So now I have it secured, and the next thing that I'm going to do, which is going to be a little bit different than what we had done in the first video, but that's because of this here. The first video I had cut across, inserted the tail into the slot. Now I think I'm gonna go diagonally this way so that I can insert the tail and this at the same time. Like I said, I've not rehearsed, so it's my first attempt, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so this has it's sharp on one side, not on this side, and I'm gonna use it to score this essentially. I'll do it over here. Now notice how I just broke that little piece off there. It's easier, and that's not exposing a lot of adhesive. So like I said, I'm gonna score it diagonally, and I'm gonna try and keep that piece on there for the time being so that it allows me to do some alignment before I fully remove it. So now I'm gonna align this a little better so that it's not an obstruction to that little knob. Okay. So what I'm gonna try and do is align myself using this corner. So I'm gonna try and get square here, and if I do, the rest should just fall in place. I'm gonna go back a little bit, and one of the things that I need to do before I do that is I need to insert this tail and get that out of the way. Okay, so now, it's important when you do the opposite end that you don't at any point bend this excessively, because if you do, you're going to collapse these stainless steel domes. One of the parts that came in, this part has here, this dome, number 2 dome, is collapsed. So you want to keep it tensioned, you know, just enough to let you peel the rest of the liner like that, and you slowly drop it down as you're working your way across it. Notice how I'm still holding it here. I don't want to completely drop it and trap air in there. I want to be able to squeeze the air, and that's going to be the last part that I do. Now, after a few, I might get better at this, but again, I didn't rehearse for this. It's my first attempt. And like anything else, you know, with practice, you get better. So I see a little bit of a little air pocket there. And one here, but there's a standoff right below this, and there's no standoff on this side.